Sagi. What's up, Sag? There's a lot of dynamics going on with Sag at the moment. I have a lot of Sagittarian people in my life. Not my conscious choice. It's just something that just happened. And yeah, it feels a bit heavy for you at the moment, Sag, and you are the angels of the zodiac. So given the times that we are in, you could have gone through a period of procrastination or just heaviness, dense feelings, not wanting to take action, not wanting to move, feeling tired, feeling exhausted. And the good news is that the super full moon in Aries yesterday, and remember that full moon energy lingers. So 5 days before the full moon and 5 days after the full moon, you will usually still feel the energy. And because we are in Libra season, the full moon was in Aries, because Aries is the opposite side of Libra in the zodiac wheel. And full moons happen when the sun is opposite the moon. So if you are, in Libra sun season, the full moon is going to be in Aries. And what's nice about this for you, Sag, is that Aries is a fire sign. And Aries is the ignition of the zodiac. They are the first sign in the zodiac. They ignite the zodiac. Aries energy is trailblazer energy. It's fire, it's passion, it's Mars energy. And Mars is the planet of action. It's a very masculine planet. So today I felt the shift. Actually, yesterday I was still feeling a little drained and a bit numb. But this morning, I woke up with renewed energy and renewed faith in my purpose, in my dreams, in my visions, renewed energy to continue, renewed energy to continue to build, continue to create. And this is what you might be feeling as well, especially being a fire sign. They're saying you could also have, Aries placements, strong Aries placements. And if you don't know where your placements sit, Sag, there is a link in the description box just to see where your Aries sits. My Aries is my rising, so it's how I come across to the world. Okay, so Sag, this is going to be a collective reading for you. Very specific messages do come through at times. And that message can be for one or two people. So don't take it if it doesn't resonate, Sag. Let's see what's going on for you. If you'd like a personal reading as well, I'm doing personal readings again. My details are also in the description box. 30-minute reading or a 60-minute reading or a 75-minute reading. Okay, let's see what's going on for Sag. Spirit, please and thank you for the sign of Sagittarius, the collective energy for Sagittarius, messages of love and light and guidance. Negative energy must leave my space now. Messages for the immediate, present and future. Messages of guidance for Sag. What do they need to know? What do they need to know? Okay, I'm going to pull 6 cards, Sag, and then sometimes I get downloads before all 6 come out, but let's just see what's going on for you here. Okay, 5 of Cups energy, that's Scorpio energy. That's the heaviness I was feeling. It's a feeling of loss, Sag. It's a feeling of spilt energy. Your energy has leaked because of this situation, whatever it is. We'll see what the other cards have to say. But it feels like an emotional drain. You know, it is also a card of depression and just feeling low. But also, it's focusing on what has been lost and not what is still in front of you. So I do feel like there's still an opportunity to repair the situation, to reconcile the situation. But at the moment, your energy is focusing on the emotion that was lost in the situation, the emotion that was drained, the difficult emotions that you're feeling about it. It feels like you still are caught up in this wave of emotion and can't seem to move past it. It's also a card of worry, of repentance, and I just heard shame and guilt for whatever, excuse me, Sag, has happened in the situation. This is a gateway, and it's the first time I'm seeing this in this card. This is a gateway for your spiritual growth, though. This is a gateway for your emotional, mental, spiritual growth, is what they're saying. Whatever has happened in the situation, it was deeply intense and deeply emotional. But it's showing you something, and you won't come out of this without having learned something profound and without it being pivotal to your growth and expansion. So I do feel like you will shift out of this energy, but let's just have a look. It is Scorpio energy, and Scorpios, when they go deep, and the emotions are felt very deeply. So what else for Sag? The moon, I was just talking about the moon, the full moon, which is a major arcana, this card of Cancer. You could have strong Cancer placements, especially if you were born in the evening, Sag. But this moon is definitely igniting something within you. It's highlighting everything that has been unconscious. Because this can also bring up, unconscious energy. It can bring up energy that you might have always known was lurking in the background. A feeling of insecurity or unworthiness or guilty or not being able to emotionally invest is what I heard. It's bringing up and it's illuminating these emotions for you to be seen, to be heard, and to be transmuted into light, to be transmuted into a higher vibe and a higher frequency. It's important to sit in the emotion sometimes, Sag, and to understand where it's coming from and to journal about it. I'm seeing a journal. Actually, I'm seeing some of you journaling. And when you do journal, without censorship, you express everything that's going on. And what tends to happen is the unconscious or the subconscious then starts to begin to write, especially if you're in flow and you're not trying to overthink what you are writing on the page. You start to see certain patterns emerging and certain, triggers and woundings and insights about your deepest desires, your deepest fears, and where those come from. I feel like this full moon yesterday, the 6th of October, is really highlighting this for you and helping you to move through it. It's also Cancer energy. So Cancer is everything to do with emotion. Cancer is a water sign, a very nurturing, caring, family-oriented, relationship-oriented water sign. It's also, a tendency of Cancerians to overgive. And when I said in the beginning that your energy is leaking, this could also be, something that you have been doing. in connection, in family, in relationship, which needs to be balanced, Sag. You can't maintain that energy for a long time. It is going to drain you. What else for Sag? Please and thank you, Spirit. What else? Whoa, okay. Whoa. Yeah. So we've got the victory card here. You are going to overcome this, Sag. The King of Cups, card of Scorpio, and the Eight of Wands. And it's funny because 3 cards flew out at the same time. These 3 cards flew out at the same time. And whatever happens in a reading is normally indicative for me of the energy. And the Eight of Wands is fast-moving energy. It's downloads, like downloads, one after the other. Messages, insights, especially if you're journaling and you're doing this, the emotional work. These 3 cards flew out at once, almost exactly like Eight of Wands energy is. So at the moment, you could be receiving a lot of, messages and insights and answers to your prayers about, your situation, whether it's work-related, romantic. I'm feeling that you are going to emerge victorious from this, Sag. This is the card of Leo, 6 of Wands. 6 is about balance, and I think we did mention balance earlier. There is a need for balance in your space at the moment, for acknowledging your worth and for acknowledging what you bring to the people around you, what you bring to your community. I feel that this is something that is going to come through for you, that people are going to start to see your evolution into emotional maturity with the King of Cups energy. And the King of Cups energy is another card of Scorpio. So that's the second Scorpio card now. It's an evolution from the Five of Cups energy because it's King energy. It's moving away from, this feeling of loss and hopelessness and the denser vibrations of those emotions, integrating that, with full moon energy, with the moon energy, integrating that subconscious and the conscious. And remember, healing is not about eradicating what pains us or what keeps us, in despair. It's not about eradicating the despair anchor, and this is a despair anchor. It can anchor you down if you get stuck here. And with Scorpio energy, Scorpios do tend to get stuck a little bit in the emotion. But the evolution from the Five of Cups to the King of Cups, and it's happened very quickly, actually. So it could have been like a tower moment for you, a moment of realization, a wake-up call, but this evolution has happened quickly. King of Cups energy, Scorpio energy. The King of Cups is very emotionally aware, emotionally mature, but doesn't allow his emotions to overrule, his sense of peace. You can see that, with all this water turbulently moving around the throne, he's sitting there, very calmly, holding his own emotion together with the cup in his hand, because cups represent emotion. I just heard pearl. So with the oyster throne that's depicted in this deck, and it's not always depicted like this, but this deck wanted to be used for the reading. And they're drawing me to the oyster symbolism in this card as well. And it's, how pearls are formed. It's when, there's a grain of sand that lands in the oyster and it becomes an irritation. And so the oyster tries to cover it up and cover it up and cover it up, until eventually, it builds up to a point, and especially with the friction, of what's happening inside the oyster and also what's happening around the oyster, that grain of sand eventually becomes a pearl. And this is what I was saying to you earlier, Sag, is you've tried to push down heavy emotion many times because your energy is so light, and because you tend to want freedom. So, attachment or commitment to anything is not something that you are naturally open to doing. You'd rather be unattached. You'd rather do things on your own terms. And so if there's any kind of difficult emotion in your space, what you can tend to do is try and cover it up or hide it, and it becomes an irritation to you because it's interfering with the lightness that you want to be. And that is what you are, Sag. It's light. It's pure light. Again, you are the angels of the zodiac. So by covering up that grain of sand, to get rid of the irritation, it doesn't make it go away. Eventually, what happens is it becomes so big, and this pearl, it's actually a pearl of wisdom that comes to you and that has come to you. I think it's accelerated over time, and it's expanded and built up over time, that it can no longer be ignored. And it's something that's going on in your inner world, your internal world, triggered by your outer world. The emotion moving around you that you may have been trying to avoid. But you've gotten to this point, from that Five of Cups, disappointed, despair, anger energy, you've gotten to the point where you're now able to look at it and integrate it and understand the role that you play in maybe allowing this emotion to unconsciously rule your life, your choices, and your actions. And that's also the thing with blocking emotion or blocking how we feel, Sag, is that even though you might think on the surface level and a superficial level that the emotion has been ignored or blocked, it doesn't actually go away. It sits inside the body. I'm sensing that some of you may have had tummy problems or acid reflux, pain in your joints. Withholding emotion is like building up acid in the body. It needs to be released. It needs to be released in a healthy way, of course. And if we don't release it, it ends up becoming our navigation system unconsciously. So you know how you plug in a location into your GPS, and you forget about it because you know that it's going to take you there. You know that the GPS is going to navigate to where you want to be. And so we switch off, we switch off and we allow the GPS to take over. So there's no real conscious interaction with your navigation. And this can happen with unhealed or unexpressed emotion. It starts to navigate for us and we don't even realize that it's happening because we are not necessarily consciously aware. But that's the King of Cups energy, is you have gotten to this point where you're able to look at this now without feeling heartbroken. It's you have enough emotional strength right now and desire to be able to move past this and move through this. And I think the people around you are seeing this shift in your energy, Sag, is there's a certain shift in how you are responding, how you are giving, how you are moving, and your loved ones are going to pick it up. You might even get some of that feedback as well. The Eight of Wands it can be spiritual downloads because you see it's coming from, the heavens, or it's coming from above, landing or grounding to the earth. So it's messages from above. You could be praying about, your situation. You could be praying about these feelings and how to overcome them, how to heal them. They never actually go away. With healing, we don't eradicate them. We simply learn how to integrate them and sit with them. And we then become more consciously aware of how they show up in everyday moments. So when you're conscious of it, you have the ability and the power and the autonomy to make a different choice. And that's what's the beauty of, bringing the unconscious into the conscious, into the scene. What's beneath the surface to be revealed. So you've been receiving messages. I feel that it's spiritual messages. I feel like, you can sense when God is talking to you. If you really are in tune with your intuition, and I think you are, you tend to be very intuitive, Sag. If you listen to what's going on, especially if you've got strong Scorpio placements, that's a powerful combination for intuition, heightened intuition, actually, high priestess energy. You'll start to hear when you are silent, what the solution is or which way you need to move forward. Trust that, Sag, because that is your higher self, that is your soul talking to you and guiding you to what the next step needs to be in the situation. It's funny, whatever happens in a reading is usually the energy that's going on, and my phone has been buzzing off the hook. Like I have no idea who's messaging me, but it feels like this energy, it's like I've received about 5 WhatsApps in the last 2 minutes. It's like that energy. And you are victorious. I just want to show this card to you again. It's Leo energy, and Leo is courageous. Leo is victorious. Leo is not afraid to take action. And this is the energy that you're moving into, Sag. Very quickly, you'll feel the shift. You will feel the shift, and there will be victory in the situation. What else for Sag? Spirit, please and thank you. Wow. 1111. My 1111 card. You see the 4 poles around this festivity. This is the 4 of Wands. It's an energy of celebration. It's an energy of coming home. This could be twin flame energy if this resonates for you. This could be a twin flame relationship that's being worked on here. If you don't resonate with the label of twin flame, it's just a very deep soul connection that has maybe been the root cause of, this emotional integration and this emotional journey that you've been on. It could have been this relationship, and that's exactly what happens with deep soul connections, is they come in to reflect to us, where we still need to shift, where we still need to heal. They show us parts of ourselves that we don't necessarily want to look at. So I'm feeling like this was, that type of connection, for some of you. But it's also a card of just finding your home again, feeling at home within your own body. It's celebration as well. This could also be an engagement. It could be your step towards commitment, Sag. We all know how Sag loves commitment. But this could be, spurring you on or inspiring you to commit to something because of the energy of it, because it makes you feel alive. I do have a sense that, from where you were, in the despair anchor, that you're moving into a space of feeling alive again. And it could be in connection, it could be in a partnership, or it could just be you, Sag, being able to find the joy in life again and to feel the freedom that that brings you. And it's got nothing to do with what's happening outside of you. You know, this is all, it's inherent within you. And that's a good thing, because then, you know, whatever happens outside can't shift the energy. It's when we attach to expectation in our external world that that brings in, you know, this kind of feeling. You see the difference in the energy here, in the colors that, you know, these cards are depicting. The blue and the heaviness of the Five of Cups energy, it feels like dense energy. And you're moving into this bright golden space. And gold energy is very protective. It's very protective and it's very divine. It's divine energy. Gold also helps us to transmute negative emotion. So if you are feeling, you know, if you're having a low moment, Sag, or you're having one of those days, visualize yourself in a golden bubble and make a conscious decision, or, you know, set the intention of the bubble to block out any energy that is coming in to disrupt your peace. And then release it and let Spirit and God take over. I just felt called to tell some of you that. Because this transformation that you're undergoing and the work that you're doing to understand your emotions, it's heavy work. It's intense. It can also be physically draining. So it's important that you take a step back or remove yourself from situations where you know you are going to be triggered, or it's going to affect your energy. And you can do this, by visualizing this golden light in your space. You can protect your home with that as well. Do this exercise before you go to sleep so that you're not prone or vulnerable to energies or psychic attack in your sleep. And psychic attack is just, someone sending negative thoughts or having, a difficult thought about you. We do feel that. You can feel that. And if you are highly intuitive, you know exactly when this is happening. It's a physical pain that you get in your body, or you suddenly feel drained. If that does happen, Sag, what you can say is, if this energy is not mine, please return to sender with love. Return to sender with love. At the bottom of the deck, and this is why I smiled, was because the Karma card came out, and this is another card of Scorpio. So you have 3 cards of Scorpio now, 1 card of Cancer, which is all water. There's a lot of water energy here, and wand energy, fire energy. This card, the Karma card, card number 20, Major Arcana, is the Judgment card. It's the card of Scorpio. It really is about lessons. It's about, and again, that full moon energy is in this card again. So talking about the full moon, this full moon is definitely initiating something within you, Sag. But this is about being open to receive the lessons, being open to receive the initiation, being open to grow, being open to level up, being open to move to the next version of you, Sag. And this is what I feel is happening. It is a hard energy. It feels like judgment. It does feel like a death of self, an ego death. When you start unveiling and you start realizing, and this is what moon energy does, is it illuminates and unveils what was previously hidden. Hidden because we don't want to see it, or hidden because, it's just not something that is within our frame of reference until we are ready. And, they're saying to me now, when the student is ready, the master will appear. It's exactly that same energy. And I feel like you are ready now to receive, this lesson. You're ready to receive these downloads, this communication. You're ready to evolve and look at, what is the next level of me? Where do I go from here? This could be career, this could be in love, this could be anything to do with your life path. Whatever is keeping you stuck in a previous version of yourself that feels comfortable but now is starting to feel painful, you're ready to move on from this. And the snake energy came up in Scorpio's reading, and I want to share that with you because of the Scorpio energy in your reading. It's exactly like shedding your skin, or the snake shedding its skin. It cannot physically grow without doing that. In fact, it actually grows out of its own skin. And that's what I'm sensing for you as well, Sag. You're growing out of your own skin. And it can be a confusing space to be in. It's exciting, but it's also confusing because you're not who you used to be, but you're also not who you are going to be. You're somewhere in between. It can feel like the twilight zone at times, like not knowing what the next step is, just knowing that you can't go back, sometimes feeling pulled to go back. And there will be moments, as we ascend, as we move between levels. It's not like a once-off jump from level 1 to level 2. And when I say levels, it's the soul's levels of learning and growth. And with those levels come a certain frequency. And your frequency actually physically changes. You start broadcasting a different hertz. And when this happens, you will see that anything that does not vibrate or emit the same frequency will just automatically fall away from your field, from your energy field, without you having to do anything. But when you change a level, it doesn't happen overnight, and it is a tug of war. It is a back and forth because we want to stay comfortable, and sometimes the masks that we have and the narratives that we tell ourselves and our need for validation, external validation, causes us to behave in certain ways and to have certain facades. And those facades were necessary to protect us, for the time that they were in play. But you're outgrowing them now, Sag. But there will be moments where you naturally want to go back to that previous way of being because it's just what kept you safe, what kept you comfortable for many, many years, many, many chapters. This evolution is not, it's not fairies and rainbows and ice cream and sunshine. It's really hard, which is why a lot of people choose not to go there. In fact, I've said to my friend a couple of times in the last 3 weeks, I just wish I didn't have to see these things. I wish I didn't have to go through this growth. I wish I could just be blissfully ignorant about, what's happening in my space and what's happening within me, and just have a normal, day. Come home, make dinner, go to bed, repeat, rinse and repeat the next day, and be okay with that. But it's not something that you're okay with anymore. And when the pain of change becomes less than the pain of staying the same, that's when the shift happens. And I do feel like there's a huge energetic shift here for you, Sagi. So, let's see. I'm looking at the time here. I want to get an oracle message. Sorry, this reading went on a bit longer than my usual general reading time. There were just a lot of downloads. Okay, Sag, an oracle message for Sag to close off this reading, Spirit. Messages of guidance from the Angels and Ancestors deck for Sagittarius. Please and thank you for my Saggies. Please and thank you. Whoa. Exactly. So you've been planting seeds. 2 cards came out for you, Sag. You have been planting seeds. And if you are in the southern hemisphere, then it is springtime. And you will start to see your rewards. You will start to see your rewards, Sag. But just as when you plant a seed, you know, the conditions need to be right. And it takes time. So there is some patience here before you are going to see, you know, some fruition of your efforts. And this is also what might have been keeping you feeling in this energy, is you've been doing a lot of work but might have not necessarily seen, you know, the efforts or the results of your efforts, the positive results of your efforts, Sag. And they're saying to be patient. An oak tree from an acorn does not form roots and grow overnight. Play the long game. Play the long game in the situation. Trust, have faith, keep on planting seeds. You know, and that seed can be, you know, talking to a friend about an idea. It can be initiating communication, you know, with someone you've become estranged with, but, you know, you want to reconcile with. It can be prayer. It can be journaling. All of those things are seeds because they carry an energetic frequency. And they show the universe what your intent is for your life. You know, every action that we take, every thought that we have sends out a broadcast. And just like with a dating app, the universe then gets a very good picture of what it is that we want in our lives, what it is we're swiping left on and what it is we're swiping right on. So keep planting seeds in a consistent way and you will see your efforts. You will be victorious. You will see your efforts, Sagi. And look at this one. This one came out for you as well. Look at that energy with my chief white cloud in the background. Animal guardian. So this is about trusting your instincts, and animals do this so naturally. They just know. And I'm seeing this deer here, and whenever I see a deer that's sitting comfortably and not running away, it's an energy of safety. So you will start to feel safe in your own body and safe in your own space again, Sag. I do feel like there was a period where you might have felt discombobulated or completely ungrounded. And that brings in a lot of fear and anxiety and feelings of being unsafe or not safe and alone. Alone and not supported. But this is coming in for you. Trust your instincts. Again, I said, you know, it came out with the 8 of Wands, is listen to your intuition, Sagi. You are very intuitive. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your higher self. If you have pets, allow them to come in. Pets are very healing. Dogs take on a lot of what we are going through. Cats transmute. Horses transmute energy as well and heal. Owl energy is wise. Think about what your ideal spirit animal is, or your animal guardian if you had to choose an animal guardian. And think about the qualities of that animal and why, what it is that you want to bring into your life, what it is about those qualities that you want to bring into your life. Today I'm wearing this leopard dress because I felt like shining. I felt like stepping out today. I felt like looking beautiful and not apologizing for it. And that's exactly the energy I wanted to bring in. You know, the leopard print is usually sexy. It's usually bold. You don't wear leopard print, if you want to hide at home under the blanket, or you can if your pajamas are leopard. Anyway, I'm digressing. But the energy of leopard is what I wanted to carry with me today. And so that's what I, put on. And exactly, the same for you, Sag. Just think about, if you need more skill, more wisdom, if you need assistance with studying, if you're studying, bring in owl energy. If you want to bring in stealth, bring in puma energy. If you want to bring in nurturing and safety, bring in deer energy. Crow energy is for spiritual messages. Cat energy, if you want to be more lithe, more flexible, more aloof, and more discerning with your boundaries, bring in cat energy. And that could be leopard, puma. So, yeah, if that resonates with you, Sag, trust your instincts and listen to your intuition. You've got this, Sag, and I'm sending you so much love on this journey. It's not easy. If you'd like guidance and a personal reading for a specific situation, please feel free to reach out. I'll be honored to connect with your energy. I always love connecting with Sagittarian energy. There's just something different about you, Sag. And you've got this. Sending you so much love. Till next time.